Let's move further into Aboriginal spiritualities and talk about how we would write about it. You could be asked to write about this in a 5-mark response towards the beginning of the paper, after you've done your multiple choice questions to start off with. A few things we want to mention here. You have a really short amount of space to get out a really wholesome response, and at the same time you need to be able to elicit just how integrated all these different terms that we've already gone through and more relate to one another. One of the things you should know is that when you write the dreaming, you should award it a capital D. That's the correct way of writing about the dreaming. Another word you might find useful is metatemporal, which is essentially used to encompass the fact that Aboriginal spiritualities include the past, the present, and the future. By encompassing all of these, we don't really refer to Aboriginal spiritualities in the past tense because it's not correct. The only time you might do that in a HSC question is if you're specifically making a point of before and after dispossession, which we get onto later on. But you should be able to understand and use the word of metatemporal to understand the ongoing nature, which links us to another term, animistic. Aboriginal spiritualities are animistic, which means that places, objects, peoples, all are awarded a spiritual essence. Because the understanding in Aboriginal spiritualities is that the land is a dwelling place for ancestral beings. So therefore, they have a great significance beyond what perhaps anyone else might consider to be simply a rock with no animation, but rather a rock, a river, an animal all have a spiritual essence, and that's what makes it animistic. So essentially, you should be using the word animistic when referring to the fact that the ancestral beings dwell within aspects of the land, but at the same time, there's no transcendent being. There's no God, so to say, but everything that exists as is spiritually charged. So when you're writing a 5-marker responses, you can tap into these kinds of words in order to show that you have a depth of understanding of exactly how integrated Aboriginal spiritualities are, but at the same time, you do have a really short amount of space to do that. And whenever you're stuck, remember that the land, the people, and the dreaming are inextricably linked. That is the basis of all of your responses because you can't separate them. Thank you for listening.